Okay, I am very happy to get a chance to speak with Emilio Sanchez. He's the project leader in electronics for this Honda Prologue that we are sitting in right now. Emilio, very nice to see you. How are you?
Hey, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So you are in charge of, in a general sense, the center console touchscreen and what is in the center console touchscreen, what we see, how we interact with it.
Yes, that's correct.
So the first thing I'm curious about, what was it like in terms of getting set up to have Google a part of the system, Google built in?
Yeah, so that is basically the strategy we're moving forward with, not only for Prologue, but other vehicles like Accord, so that you have probably seen.
Yes.
So we feel the combination of Google built-in is basically what the customers need, right? Having easier access to what you use regularly, and of course our commitment to Android Auto and Apple CarPlay as being part of our infotainment systems.
Yeah. And the one thing I've noticed, Polestar, for example, they have a full Android Automotive OS system. Was there ever a consideration of just letting Google take over the entire system as Polestar did?
No, that wasn't part of our plan actually. So we have a good combination of Google, right, base system in the center display, and I think we have a little bit of QNX on the meter or cluster.
Oh, on the instrument cluster. Yes. Okay. All right. So what are some of the features that you're most proud of? And as you tell me, we'll switch and we'll look at the center console as you point them out.
Ability to use both screens is what I like the most on Prologue. Apart from Google built-in that we have, of course, in this screen, on the meter or cluster, we can actually have Google Maps as well.
On the instrument cluster over
Correct.
here.
And we do have 3 views that we can actually cycle through. So this is what we call our single gauge layout, right?
Yeah.
And then you press the steering wheel button.
This button right down here, this guy.
Correct. And then you get your Google Maps.
Yeah.
Right there on the meter.
Yeah.
And then one more, it basically takes you to the driver assistance view, right? Where
Gotcha,
you set up your
gotcha.
adaptive cruise control. And then again, one more press, you go back to the single gauge layout.
Very good. And then, of course, you also have all that connectivity, all that screen. You can look at these things here. And I'm noticing we have 3 dots here. So we have 3 screens. Oh, well, I opened that inadvertently. You can change the ambient lighting color. There it goes.
There you go. So, for example, in this car, we have Waze here, right? So you can actually download more apps. If you don't like Google Maps, you can go to Waze or any other navigation app
which
there.
Google owns, so they probably have no problem with that.
So, also one of the nice things about Google built-in is that you can actually have the same information display where you want it exactly, right? So, for example, sometimes I like the map here, while I just focus on my music over there on the meter, or I want it the other way around, right? Maybe I want the meter to show me the map, and then I want my center display to show me the music.
I see.
Right?
I
see. You can do that. You can play with those elements. The other nice thing is, like, if you don't want map here or there on the meter, then you have the heads-up display, right? So you have those 3 options to play with.
With the Elite trim, you get the head-up display.
Exactly.
Yes.
So you have that ability, right? What else can we do? So, okay, so if we go to vehicle status, for example, this is the trip, right? So right now on your left, on the left side of the meter, right, you have your date and date, time, and temperature. But you can just press this button at the driver display, and boom, now we have it over there.
Oh, I see. So yeah, now it's right there. Oh, that's clever. Okay.
So that is one of the things, right? So same thing you can do with energy efficiency, right? So if you are really focused on what your efficiency is for the drive, again, you go to energy efficiency, and then you can hit add to driver display, and then now you will see it there.
Yeah, and it's switched over. So it's that left-hand screen here. This section of the screen is what changes to what you choose it to be.
What you choose, exactly. Now, this car hasn't been driven, so that's why there is no graph there, but you will see a nice graph there. Same with energy usage, so you can put this information over there, right? Again, button, and boom, it's on the other side.
There it is. All right, and just to prove, yes, indeed, that works as well. Okay.
So what else? Let's see. Google Maps, of course. Well, we already saw ambient lighting, right?
Inadvertently saw the ambient lighting.
So we have a light pipe here on the instrument panel, and then we have on the doors. And
you're saying right down here?
Yeah, right down here.
Okay, very good.
So we have it there, and then of course we have a 10 color selection, right? The screen will also show you a subtle
Okay.
display what color you're in.
Oh, right here in the
Yeah,
perimeter.
exactly.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
there you
Got
see
it.
just a
Oh,
little
that's
bit,
clever.
you know.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, and of course, if we hit the link to drive mode, then that means that whenever you hit sport mode, then this will change to red.
I see,
Right?
I
You don't
see,
have to
I
do
see.
anything, it changes automatically.
Very, very good.
Yeah, and then one other really nice thing of the center display.
Well, if you don't mind, actually, I'd
Yeah.
like to. What made you decide on charging and how to set this up? Because this was something I was curious about.
Okay, so charging, right? So as soon as you plug the car, what you want right as soon as you touch this is basically what's gonna be my setup for the next charge, right?
Yeah.
As soon as I plug the car in, so.
Oh, and this is like the charging start time.
Exactly. So you
I
can
see.
either do, for example, I plug it to the station, but I don't want to start charge right now, so I do charge later, right?
Yeah.
But most of the times it just goes to the charge now, right? Because
Yes.
you want to plug and then you want to charge right away. So then you just select here the target, right? What target do you want? Do you want your target to be 60%, 70, 80, 90, whatever you want, and then it'll give you an estimated time, right?
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. If you want to plug and charge at a later time, for example, at your house, right? You leave the car plugged and then you want the car to start charging at 11 p.m. for
Right,
example,
when the
right?
electricity is cheaper.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
You go to charge later, set it up, and then you're done.
Very good.
So this is only for that charging session. If you want to create a schedule, however, with the specific days and times of the week, that's where you go here, right?
I
Then
see,
you go,
I
okay,
see.
I want to create a schedule. For this, you have to set your location, right? It's basically location based, so the car knows that you're already home.
Got
right?
you.
And
Okay.
then, well, if we just do home charge location, then you can do Monday. I want to charge. I don't know. Monday, I want my vehicle ready by, let's say, 6 a.m. Right?
I see.
I want it charged.
So
to
this is the finish time now.
finish time, exactly.
Yeah, I see.
So it will be ready by that time, right? You want your target to be 80%, and then you can also choose whether you want your cabin preconditioned, right? So you can say, yeah, I want the car at 72 degrees.
And you can you affect what preconditioning is, or is it always 72?
You can change. It depends on this. I think it's based on this input. I will have to check exactly, but anyway, you should be able to change that.
Okay, very good.
Yeah. But anyway, let's say that's Monday, right? So that is one schedule that I created just for Monday, right? If I want different schedules or different times, whatever, you can just continue to add more stuff.
I see.
Right?
I
So
see.
I
I
want
see.
one for Tuesday, Wednesday, for example, right? And then I change it and so on. Yeah.
Okay, very cool.
So exit schedule. Yeah. So that's basically the charging experience for Prologue.
Okay, very cool. What else do you want? Is worth
Yeah, so
looking
I
at?
wanted to show you this. So this button here, right, is always going to
This-
be here.
this graph right here,
So
yep.
that one we call it the custom view.
And these are like fixed, permanent buttons built into the screen.
Only two of them. So home and custom view will always be there. So for example, let's say I don't want the phone to be there, right? I want charging. So I just go.
Ah, clever. I
One
see.
charging.
That's cool.
Right?
Okay, that's well done.
Yeah. But custom view. So custom view, it's also a nice view, right? Now you can have your Google
I
Assistant on
see.
one
So
side
you can
and the map on
preset
the
it up with your favorite.
Exactly.
things
So
to-
we only have a few options. So for example, this one is only audio, Google Assistant, or the trip information, right?
Mm-hmm.
For example, I could do audio on this side with my map here.
Got you. Very cool.
Yeah.
I see.
So
No,
this
that's
goes
clever.
back to what I was saying, right? Like you actually can get the car the way you want it, right? Have the elements that you need in the different areas within the two displays.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's clever. There was another thing I wanted to talk about, and that was these small buttons up here above the main screen. I was fascinated that you had one pedal driving on off is this
Correct.
button here.
Yes.
But then if you put it on, then you can hit the set level here and you have these different options here. What led to having the button set up that way?
So one of the things that we saw drivers wanting to do the most was the option to turn it on and off, right? The one
Yeah.
pedal drive.
Yeah.
There are scenarios where you don't want it at all, right? Maybe in parking maneuvers, it's a little bit more difficult to use. Should you want it all, right? So instead of having the customer to go through 3-4 menus to get to here, right? You just do on off.
I see. I
There
see.
you go.
And is that something like if you have it on, you set it to high, does it remember high?
Yeah, it remembers how.
Okay, very good. So you choose which level of one pedal drive you want, and then and there's times you want to turn it on or off.
Correct.
That's
And then
one
you have
button
that
easy.
ability,
Okay,
yes.
very cool. Okay, and then what about the
So
lighting
other
and the
one is,
bell?
The headlamps. So headlamps will always be in auto, but if you ever need to turn them off or turn them on specifically, then that's your button. And
I
that
see.
will always be on top. Okay, so if you look like when we went to this part, you always have it there, right?
Ah, okay.
Even when you're backing up, it's always there. So that button will always be on top of any screen.
I see. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so and that's headlights.
That's headlights.
I thought that was
correct.
an interior. Okay,
No,
that's
headlights,
okay.
yes.
And when it's auto, is that also auto high beams?
Yes. So well, by default it's auto high beams, but when you go to controls, which is this icon here,
Yeah.
right? This is where you can turn auto high beam on and off.
Ah, I see.
By
I
default,
see.
it is on, but here you have the ability to turn it off if you
Ah,
want.
and this is where HUD head up
Correct.
display. So
Head-up
okay,
display.
okay. I was curious where that was. Okay.
Display and even fog lights as well.
Okay, and that is controls right here,
Yeah.
and then this is charge because you moved that
moved
there,
it, yeah.
and then this is Google Maps.
Google Maps.
Yep. Okay, and then that
your
music, of course.
Media, yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Anything we're missing here?
I think we went over everything that we could do here. Yeah.
Well, let's do a quick scan. All these things, podcast ways, and all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah.
What is PlugShare?
So PlugShare is like a third-party app that shows you charging stations.
Ah, I see. I
Yeah,
see. I see.
so-
Okay.
So when you have Google built-in, right, you go to the Play Store, and then there are like a few available apps there. So this one is just made for charging stations.
Got you. Well, okay. Well, yeah, that is a clever setup. There is some learning to do here, but if you were to buy one, these it's all intuitive enough. I like this fact that you can just drag. See if I can do it. You can drag it over. That's clever. I think that's cool. And that kind of like user friendliness and intuitiveness is something that companies are getting better and better at. But this Honda setup is definitely one of the better ones I've seen. So. Emilio, this is, I guess I should say first and foremost, good work. Good job.
Thank you.
And hold on one moment. So now that you can actually see him, please congratulate Emilio. It's some clever
Thank you.
stuff in here. My last question, is this, because we talk about like styling and it's like this is the design language of a
Correct.
car going forward.
Yes.
Is this the design language of Honda Media? Are we going to see this proliferate in more and more
Correct.
places?
So what we wanted to convey here, right, is that this car is a Honda, and I think it actually feels like a Honda when you look at the color.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
The font is the Honda font, right, that we are using on our battery electric vehicle. So this is truly a Honda. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, Emilio Sanchez, thank you so much. I learned a lot. I really appreciate your time, and yeah, it's clever. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.